Good morning. I have a story for you this morning, and I'd really like for you to help me out with it. Is that okay? Now, I was so hungry when I woke up this morning. Has anybody else here ever been hungry? What does your stomach do when you get hungry? It growls. Can you make that sound for me? Okay, so when it's time for the hungry sounds, can you make that sound? Let's practice. Oh, fabulous, fabulous, you are pros. Okay. Now this story is from the Islamic tradition, and it's a story from Pakistan. And you might have noticed I took my shoes off. When I tell holy stories, I take my shoes off because I'm standing on holy ground. And also I don't fall out of my shoes that way. One time, the different parts of the body started to complain about the stomach. Because the stomach just sat there and got all the food while they did all the work. Now the mouth that was very good at giving word and speaking to the complaints said, well, we do all this work, and the stomach just sits there and gets all the food, but what can we do about it? Now, the brain, which was very good at thinking about how to come up with solutions, thought, we can stop finding food for the stomach and feeding it. So all the parts of the body went on strike. The brain stopped thinking about where to find the food. The feet stopped walking to go get the food. The hands stopped actually picking up the food and preparing it and taking it to the mouth, and the mouth said, I'm not going to chew it. Well, at first, the stomach just sat there quietly with just a few little grumbles. Just a few little grumbles. But this went on for a couple of days, and after a while, a little later, the stomach was starting to get very hungry and groaned a little louder. And the ears heard this and said, oh, I'm getting concerned. That stomach sounds awfully hungry. But you know what? That stomach deserves it. It's just so lazy and takes all the food. I'm going to ignore it. Well, by the next day, the stomach was so hungry it was turning in knots and moaning and groaning even louder. You're so good at this. And the body parts were ignoring it and going on strike, and the feet said, I don't care, it's none of my problem, I'm not this, that stomach is so lazy. But the feet started to notice that its toes were cramping up. And the hands were getting so weak that they were trembling. The brain was having a harder time thinking about things, and the ears were starting to ring with weakness and the mouth was getting a little dry, and even the nose, excuse me, was running. And the stomach said, I'm getting concerned for you, my dear siblings, because you've been sending me this food and I've been digesting it and sending it out to you as nourishment through the blood, and it's been keeping you strong, and I'm very worried. And finally the mouth said, oh, we're so ashamed. We've been so selfish. And we didn't realize before how important all the parts are. God made us in such a way that we each have our own jobs to do, and when we work together, we help each other. Please forgive us. And so the brain thought about where to go find some food. And the feet started walking a little more slowly. The feet started walking to go find the food, and the hands picked up the food, and the eyes were looking for it, and the hands put it toward the mouth, and the mouth chewed it up and swallowed it and fed the stomach, which nourished the whole body. And now I understand it is your custom here to sing Go Now in Peace, as the children and the adults who work with them go off to your classes. Is that so?